Here are the solutions to yesterday's or Friday's worksheet, just 1 through 8. I have all of the work written out in another video, the solutions video, that you could take a look at. Again, we did number 2 in the in-class examples, so be sure to check and correct those. All right, today we're going to start off doing several review problems. So be ready to follow along, pause the video to try each problem on your own, and then resume playing the video to see how you did. But your graded assignment tomorrow is going to be made up of all these types of problems. So today is a day to practice. All right, so the first problem here, we want to simplify and state any restrictions. And one thing, these are the questions you should be asking yourself. What is it? What are we dealing with here? We are just dealing with a single fraction. So pause the video, try this on your own, and then resume playing. All right, so if you need more time, just pause the video again. So because this is a single fraction, we want to factor, then state our restrictions, and then cross out. So in our numerator, there is a GCF. We always want to first look for a GCF of 4x. And what's left over? This will become a 2x and then a plus 5. So just check. We'll get an 8x squared plus 20x. There's a GCF in our denominator of 2. 4 can't go into 18 or 70, so we're going to factor a 2 out. What's left? 2x squared minus 9x. Half of 70 is 35. All right, we still have to try to factor this trinomial, so I'm just going to recopy everything else. But now the 2x squared minus 9x minus 35, I'm going to try two binomials here. The only way to factor 2x squared is 2x and x. I'm going to try 7 and 5 here. I'm going to first try the 7 and the 5, and let's see if that works. I'm going to get a 10x on the outside, 7x on the inside. 10 and 7 will not get me to a 9, so let's just switch those. So let's try the 5 and the 7. I'll get a 14x on the outside, 5x on the inside. Now 14 minus 5 will give us 9, but we need a negative 9, so we want a negative 14 plus 5. And what else is nice? Now we notice the 2x plus 5's match. Now we can't cross them out just yet. We want to state our restrictions. So this x here, that's the easiest one to answer. That x cannot equal a positive 7. I'm going to set 2x plus 5 equal to 0 to solve for x. So 2x is going to equal a negative 5 divided by 2. So negative 5 halves is the other restriction. Now I can cross out the 2x plus 5's. Those are the only binomials they have in common. Monomials, 2 and 4. So the 4 will become a 2. So what's left? I have a 2x in the numerator and an x minus 7 in the denominator. All right, our next problem. We are dividing fractions, so pause the video. You don't have to state restrictions here, just simplify. All right, so if you remember, to divide fractions, we want to multiply by the reciprocal, so all I'm going to do is change that part. So the first part is still x squared plus 7x plus 12 over x squared minus 9x times the 81 minus x squared is now the numerator. 2x plus 8 is the denominator. So I'm going to factor the first numerator. Hopefully you find that this factors easy into an x plus 3 times the quantity x plus 4. Here we're going to factor out an x, so we have an x minus 9 left. 81 minus x squared, that is a difference of squares. The 9's are going to go first, so we're going to get a 9 minus an x, 9 plus x. And then 2x plus 8, GCF of 2, and an x plus 4 results. All right, so now we're just going to cross out common factors. We see the x plus 4's can cross out. And the x minus 9 and the 9 minus x, those are opposites, so a negative 1 results. So up top I have, and we could put that negative anywhere, x plus 3 times 9 plus x all over 2x. All right, in number 3, we are subtracting. So remember what it means to add or subtract fractions. Okay, pause the video if you need more time. Whenever we add and subtract fractions, we need common denominators. So I'm going to make two blank fractions, determine the LCD. So this one, relatively easy compared to others that we've done. 6 can go into 12, and we need an x, so 12x is our common denominator. Now I adjust the numerators. 6x got multiplied by a 2, so the quantity x minus 4 needs to get multiplied by 2. The 12 got multiplied by an x, so I need an x here. Now remember, I want to keep denominators. This is not an equation. I make one fraction over the LCD, and I carefully distribute. We're going to get a 2x minus 8, and we're really distributing a negative x. So we're going to get a negative x squared, and then a negative x times a negative 3 is a positive 3x. Combine our like terms in the numerator. We'll put the negative x squared first. 2x plus 3x is 5x, and then a minus 8. And we have this over 12x. And that numerator can't factor, so this is our final answer. Okay, here's another one. We're adding fractions. Pause the video to work on this. All right, and if you need more time, just pause the video again. This problem, in order to determine the LCD, we want to factor our denominator. So the 3m minus 12, we could factor out a 3. We're left with m minus 4. M squared minus 16 factors into m minus 4 times m plus 4. So our LCD is 3, m minus 4, and m plus 4. Now we adjust our numerators. So the 2m had a 3 and an m minus 4. We need to multiply the 2m by an m plus 4. The m minus 1, we have to keep that in parentheses, that had the m minus 4 and the m plus 4. We just need to multiply that by a 3. And remember, we just adjusted our numerators. We don't cross anything out. Remember, we make one fraction over our LCD. And I want to distribute, so I'm going to have a 2m squared plus an 8m. Nice thing that this is positive, plus a 3m minus a 3. So we end up with 2m squared plus 11m minus 3 over 3 times these two binomials. And that's it. There's no way to factor the numerator. That is our final answer. All right, and then this example we want to solve. So we have a rational equation. So pause the video to give this a try. All right, and if you still need more time, just pause the video again. In order to determine the LCD here, I have to factor this middle denominator. Well, nice thing is it actually factors into what the other two denominators are. So my LCD is going to be these two together. But I also, before I change my numerators here, let's go ahead and figure out what the restrictions are. That way we could check our answers. So this x can't equal what? -2. Same thing here, so I don't have to write that. This x here can't equal what? -3. Same thing here. So those are our restrictions. All right, so let's adjust our numerators. This x already had the x plus 2 as its denominator, so this needs to get multiplied by x plus 3. Does the 2 have to get multiplied by anything? No, it had both factors already in the denominator. And then the 5 has to get multiplied by what? The x plus 2. So now that all my denominators are the same, again, what I could do is just cross them out because it's like I'm multiplying both sides by the LCD. So here, I'm just going to rewrite what I have. So if all my denominators are the same, then I know the right side, the left side over here, the numerators are going to equal the right side. So I'm going to distribute the x. We'll have x squared plus 3x plus 2. Distribute over here equals 5x plus 10. This is a quadratic. I want to get everything to one side, so I'm going to leave everything on the left side. x squared, 3x minus 5x is a minus 2x, 2 minus 10 is a minus 8. We'll go ahead and factor. There's no GCF, so we'll factor into two sets of parentheses. We'll have x and x. Factors of 8 that are going to help are 4 and 2. Our signs need to be different to multiply to a negative 8. We need a negative 2, so we should have a minus 4 and a plus 2. So if we set x minus 4 equal to 0, that means x is going to equal 4. If x plus 2 is equal to 0, that means x is negative 2. But wasn't that a restriction? Let's go look. Yes, it was. So we cannot keep the negative 2. Therefore, x equals 4 is our answer. All right, so as I mentioned last week, you guys will have a team quiz tomorrow for my remote students, a little different. Again, you do not have to join Zoom for this. I will give you a due date when this will be due tomorrow. So again, 11 problems, around 30 points. Pretty much everything we just practiced has been these types of problems in the first 5. So I'm going to give you some more complex fractions to simplify. So this will be posted as a separate PDF. But this is what the worksheet looks like. So please let me know if you guys have any questions.